You already studied Gerenda Samhita and know about Gerenda Samhita. Have you heard of this scripture? No? Okay. So, this is a Samhita, okay, which is like a collection of some of these phrases and some of the techniques together. And the best part of Gerenda Samhita is it doesn't describe, like you look at, for example, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, you will find a lot of details in terms of like every single aspect or every single shloka that is being told, the whole technique of how do you do asanas, how do you do pranayamas, mudras, bandhas. So it's typically talking everything in detail. But if you look at Gerenda Samhita is more in terms of like a manual. It's very short, precise, just talks to the point, and the whole book is, if you really put in your mind, you can go through the whole book probably in a few hours and understand many of the things that are being. So that's the best part I found about Gerenda Samhita when going through these scriptures. And there are a lot of discussions in terms of who is the person who wrote Gerenda Samhita, right? But we don't know who has written Gerenda Samhita. You may feel that, okay, the name is Gerenda Samhita, so Gerenda is the person who has written the book. No, there is not a name of a person who has actually written this book. Okay, so its author is unknown. Again, thanking everyone, all our gurus, Guru Parampara, and everyone. And then it's always an empty feeling that you start with, right? You don't know anything, and the universe is just passing on some information through you, so you always remain an empty vessel. Of course, we always start with salutations to the Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So saluting the Gurus, let's start our practice. I don't know if you have this question in your mind, but when I was getting to books, understanding to study books, there is always this question: why should I read the scriptures? What is the purpose? You are going through session after session. You are being introduced to so many textbooks, so many things. The question you should have in your mind is, why should I read them? What is the purpose? This has two things which has really worked out for me when I have tried to read scriptures and my understanding into it. First, it is about unconditional happiness. See, if you think about yourself, introspect for a minute. If you want to be happy, what do? You want to go out to a movie, you will feel happy. You want to buy a car, you will feel happy. You want to buy a new house, you will feel happy. You want to come to a yoga center and do yoga and you will feel happy. So you have a reason for being happy. You are attaching yourself for a specific reason to be happy. But can you be happy all the time without any reason attached? Unreasonable, unconditional happiness. Can you go there? Can you go into that space? If you want to go to that space, study the scriptures, yoga scriptures, which typically assist you or show you way or give you those methods and philosophies in terms of making you unconditionally happy. And that's what we are striving for, right? We want to be happy all the time. So I feel by reading these scriptures, not just reading these scriptures, also by practicing them, you definitely can attain to that state of being unconditionally happy all the time. Right? So that is one of the reasons I believe definitely we should study scriptures. And the second thing is inner transformation. This is a question I think you would have been knowing these things, many people telling you have to transform, you have to evolve, you have to improve your conscious level. There are many levels, and there are thousands of people telling thousands of programs, conducting sessions in terms of how do you do your inner transformation. Right? But I believe if you have a blind trust in the divinity, and then even the scriptures tell them, blind trust in the divinity, and follow the principles given in those scriptures, it will automatically transform you. I always give this example. When a baby is born, or when you look at our children, right, they will not worry about their next meal. Who is going to put the next meal on the table? But you are always worried, like, oh, how will I get this, how will this come to me, how will that come to me. But look at a child, it's divine, it's unconditional, it's trusting 100% on you that it's going to get the next meal on the table. It's the same thing in terms of having trust in the divinity. And once you have that trust in the divinity, you will definitely transform as a divine being. So scriptures help us build this trust in the divinity. So I think these were two major reasons why I believe we should be studying the scriptures. And of course, the divine blessing, that shower will always come to us. Once it's a set thing, right? Once the pupil is ready, the teacher will automatically come. So you will get that divinity and the blessings from the divine. So these are the two reasons why I believe we should probably study scriptures. Okay, let's start with Gherenda Samhita now. So this is the book I have referred to. You can probably buy this book. It's a very nice book, precise descriptions and explanations. You can check out and see if you can. There are latest editions of this book available today, but this is the book I have referred. Okay, so what are the chapters in Gherenda Samhita? How is the whole book organized? The beauty is the Gherenda Samhita and the Shloka 10 and 11 automatically give us this structure. I will go to that Shloka next, but this is the whole structure in terms of how the chapters of Gherenda Samhita are organized. So it starts with Kriyas. I think you have already done your Kriyas, right? Some of these Kriyas when you visited SVS, you have already done. So it talks about Kriyas. So Kriyas, they call it as body purification process. It typically purifies your physical body. That's the first chapter we will talk about. There are around 21 kriyas which we will discuss in the first chapter. Then the second chapter is asanas. There are 32 asanas Gherenda Samhita talks about. And he says that the asanas are for strengthening your physical body and mind. Look at the gradual progression, it's very beautifully laid out. First you have kriyas for body purification, then you have asanas 32, strengthen your physical body and mind. Then you have mudras, which brings steadiness to the body. So it talks about around 25 mudras. Okay. Then you have pratyaharas and pranayamas. Pratyaharas is calming your mind. It helps you calm your mind. 5 different pratyahara techniques have been told. Then you have pranayama techniques. 10 different pranayama techniques have been told. So what does pranayama techniques bring to you according to Gherenda Samhita? Lightness of your body and mind. That's what Gherenda Samhita says. Then chapter 6 is on dhyanas. There are 3 different dhyana technique, meditation technique that has been told. So why do you need to do dhyana? Dhyana brings you realization of the self. You get you realize what being you are and where you are going. So realization of the self. Then chapter 7 is all about samadhis. Okay. He talks about 6 different kinds of samadhis in chapter 6. Okay. Samadhis is mainly for liberation. So this is how the whole progression of the chapters of Gherenda Samhita go. Okay. So today in this session what we will do is we will try to cover first 2 chapters are literally little bigger. So in the session 1 I will try to cover both kriyas and asanas today. I told you already there like how did we arrive at this chapter structures. So Shloka 10 and 11. So you can see it very clearly says the Shatkarmas purify the body, asanas strengthen it, mudras brings about steadiness, pratyahara results in calmness, then you have pranayama leads to lightness, dhyana gives realization of the self, and samadhi leads to isolation, which is the very liberation. Okay. Gherenda Samhita Shloka 10 and 11 give us this chapter structures. It's like logically we have tried to arrange it so it becomes easy for us to. So let's start with the first chapter, which is about Kriya, body purification process. So how the chapters are, again, first chapter structured into 2 pieces. So Shlokas 1 to 11, they are giving you a little bit of introduction into Gherenda Samhita also, and then it begins a conversation. It's like a conversation between 2 people. Okay, so it will begin the conversation. So first 11 shlokas is about that, and the next part is around 47 shlokas, starts from shloka number 12 till 59, and this talks about various details of kriyas. So we'll see what are all the different kriyas he talks about in those sections. So shloka 1 to 4. So it starts it's like a typical storytelling conversation. Okay. Chanda Kapali went to the cottage of Gheranda. So Chanda Kapali and Gheranda are having this conversation and having bowed to him with modesty and devotion. Look at this. This is what I was telling: unconditional acceptance and unconditional surrender and 100% trust with the Guru that he's going to transform his life. Right? So he's having that conversation. And he asks him the following question: O Lord, O Master of Yoga, I wish to know the Ghatastha Yoga, which leads to the knowledge of reality. So, second sloka itself, straight to the point. That's why I told it's very precise, very manual-like. It directly talks, I want my self-realization, help me. I want to know the knowledge of reality. I want to liberate myself. Help me with Ghatastha Yoga, which will help me go there. Okay. Then the teacher says, well done, brave soul, you have asked me this. And look at this, how the teacher has accepted him. My dear child, listen attentively to what I say. So that's the relationship between the Guru and a disciple. Right? So he has completely unconditionally accepted him, not asking him any questions, unconditionally accepted him. And he says, listen attentively to what I say. Which means you have to be here present and have a conversation with me. You can't be thinking about what is happening in your house, what is happening somewhere else, and be all in a jumbled mindset and then have the conversation. He says, be here, listen attentively and listen to what I am saying. Right? Very powerful. The fourth shloka is something that we always very easily correlate to. So he says, there is no fetter like Maya, the illusion. No greater power than yoga. There is no greater friend than knowledge, and no enemy worse than egoism. Straight to the point, the teacher comes. We all know this, and look at this, he's directly telling there is no greater power than yoga. And look at what we are doing in our lives every day. Apart from this, everything else we are doing. And no greater friend than knowledge. When you say knowledge, it has to be more related to the knowledge of yoga. Right? And no enemy worse than egoism. The minute I do YIC, I get a certificate. Now I display it at 100 places and keep beating a band saying that I am a YIC graduate. Everybody wants to know that I know all these yogasanas. I can lift my body, twist my body, do everything. He says there is no bigger enemy worse than egoism. Okay, straight to the point. As a person begins with the study of alphabets and then can learn the shastras, in the same way, by mastering the technique of yoga, one attains the knowledge of reality. He is also very humbly saying, don't think you have to start somewhere in between or you are already somewhere. Everybody starts there. It's a very clear message. Right? Like you learn alphabets, then you learn your sentence. Very similar way is telling mastering yoga. Start mastering your yoga from the beginning, and then you will definitely one day attain the knowledge of reality. Right? So very straightforward. And the body of living creatures is a result of good and bad actions. Right? How we are today is based on how our environment around us has been and how we have been conditioned throughout our life. We were empty and now we have been filled in. From the moment we are born till today, everything we have been filled in. Today your behavior, your way of being is exactly mimicking what you have been filled with. So very straightforward. The body of living creatures is a result of good and bad actions, multiple actions that you have done. The body gives rise to action, and in the way the cycle goes on. So this is like he says that the action to result is an infinite cycle. We know, right? Karma, you do a karma, you do an action, and when you do an action, you experience being in that particular action. You get an experience out of doing some karma, right? You get an action. You do an action, you experience it. And once you experience it, you want more, or you want to do some other action based on that experience. So it becomes an infinite circle. You're doing an action, you're experiencing, and so you're having an ice cream, like say strawberry ice cream, you like it very much. Then you go home and you think, today I ate strawberry, tomorrow I'll eat chocolate ice cream. and you go back, do one more action. So your action is again based on certain experiences you are having, which is resulting out of these actions. So he says the body gives rise to action, and it continuously keeps going on forever and ever, like a water wheel. He gives an example of the water wheel, which typically pulls the water, and it's like going on in circle and circle and circle again, infinitely. So he's saying that, and as the Gatiyantra moved by bullocks goes up and down, similarly the life and death cycle of every individual is moved by his karmas. Beautifully said, right? The gist of many other scriptures, just in 2-3 shlokas. Whatever you do your karmas, based on your karmas, you go through certain results that you have to deal with. Right? And it's an infinite cycle. So how do you get out of this infinite cycle? That's what is coming next. So the body invariably wears away like an unbaked earthen jar immersed into the water. Therefore, the body should be conditioned by tampering it with fire of yoga. Very similar analogy. So you do a pot, you just directly put it in water, it will dissolve. But you put it in fire, bake it, and then put it in water, then see the magic. So he says that is exactly what you need to be doing with your physical body. Okay. Now comes straight to the point, the 7 aids for conditioning the body. Next question, your question may be, how do I condition the body? He's telling condition this body, put it in fire, how do I condition it? 7 aids, which is like supports for doing this. Shodhana, first process, purification. Okay. Dhrudata, strengthening your body. Then Sthiryam, bringing that steadiness into your body. Dhairyam, having that composure. Laghavam, being light. Pratyaksham, that is the realization. And Nirliptam, the total isolation or the Nirvana, state of Nirvana. So these are the 7 aids for conditioning your body. And now if you look at this whole Gerenda Samhita after this shloka number 10, it talks about how do you achieve these 7 things. Okay. So the Shat Karmas purify the body. So it's directly coming to purification process now, using the Shat Karmas. The asanas strengthen it. I think we already saw this, right? So the asanas are strengthening it. Mudras brings about steadiness. Pratyahara results in calmness. So the 7 aids he told, he's translating that to certain actions that you need to do to reach there. Okay. So the pratyaharas result in calmness. Then pranayama leads to lightness. Dhyana gives realization of the self, and samadhi leads to isolation, which is very liberation. In these 2 shlokas, it's typically the gist of the entire Gerenda Samhita. Shloka 12, one should practice the following Shat Karmas. So what are those Shat Karmas? The first chapter I told, right? The Shat Karmas. So Kriyas typically. So what are those Kriyas? Dauti, Basti, Neti, Lauluki, Trataka and Kapalabhati. Okay. So you would have heard of Dauti, heard of Basti, then Neti, you would have also done, right? Sutra Neti. Then Lauluki is Nauli Kriya. Have you seen the abdomen, stomach being moved? That one. Lauluki. It's called Lauluki in Gerenda, but it's Nauli Kriya. Then Trataka. I have done Trataka also. Then Kapalabhati. So Gerenda Samhita is the only text where you can see 3 varieties of Kapalabhati. Very interesting. So we'll come there. So Kapalabhati we always do in there's only one technique, right? Here he has showed 3 techniques to do Kapalabhati. Okay, so we'll come there. Next, let the aspirants remove the impurities of the body by practicing the 4-fold Dauti. So again what he has done is, in the Dauti, there are multiple different varieties. Okay, Antar Dauti, Danda Dauti, Hrud Dauti and Mula Shodhana. I put a chart, I will show you next. Then again if you look at Dauti, in Antar Dauti for purifying the body, again there are 4 kinds. Vatasara, Varisara, Vanhisara and Bhishkrita. Okay, let's directly go there. So if you look at this chart, you will know. Dauti, 4 techniques. Antar Dauti, Danta Dauti, Hrud Dauti and Mula Shodhana. Now Antar Dauti has again 4. Vatasara, Varisara, Vanhisara and Bahishkrita. And then Danta Dauti has again 4 techniques. Danta Mula, Jihva Mula, Karna Randra and Kapala Randra. Okay, 4 techniques. Then Hridrauti has 3 techniques. Danda Dauti, Vamana Dauti and Vaso Dauti or Vastra Dauti. Okay. Then Mula Shodhana. What we'll do now is we'll go through the same order, and what I've done is I've also collected some videos of each of this technique on how people are doing. So we'll go through those videos also when we are doing this. Let's start with Antar Dauti. So Antar Dauti is the first Dauti technique. So if you look at Antar Dauti, there is first technique is Vatasara. So what do you do in Vatasara? Shlokas 15 and 16 talk about it. So drawing air slowly through the mouth, forming it like a beak of a crow. So beak of a crow, you are taking in the air. Okay. Move the abdomen and then slowly expel the air through the lower passage. So to take the air from the mouth and leave out the air through the rectum or your anus. That's the process of Vatasara.
People are there to do.
So this is the process. So Vatasara, which is a purifier of the body, it destroys all the diseases, increase the body gastric hit, should be kept a deep secret. One more thing is, if you look at all these scriptures, right, the formula is open for you, but they say still keep it a secret. What does it mean? So we talked about the egoism also, right, in terms of what we know and beating around the bush saying that we know everything. This is also the same thing. You are doing something, it is for you. It is you who are doing it, and it's only for you, and the benefits or whatever you get is only for your being. Right? So he says there is no point in going and having this conversation with someone who has not even done this, or getting into deeper conversations saying, oh, I did this, I got this siddhi, now I can do this and things like that. So it says, if you look at all these shlokas, all the yoga techniques, typically they always say it is about to be kept secret. Your practice has to be kept a secret. Just practice it and keep it to yourself. Okay. So Vatasara is this technique. You're taking in air and then leaving it through the passage. This is Varisara. This is one more super technique. So now instead of air here, you're taking water. Okay. One should drink water slowly by the mouth so as to fill the stomach up to the throat. Then push it by moving the abdomen and evacuate it through the lower passage. There you saw air, taking in air. Here you are drinking water and then you are leaving the water. So what does this Varisara do? Which purifies the body, should be kept very secret and mastered with great effort. Okay. The body becomes radiant as if it were divine. Imagine every day you are whenever you practice Varisara, you are taking in the whole water, and then it typically goes through your entire digestive system and just cleanse it, and every day you are and whenever you practice, you are typically cleaning yourself internally. Right? So that's the purification, body purification process. So there it was air and next water. The third one is Vanhisara. So Vanhisara is push the navel against the spine 100 times. So typically, you're typically it's like a bellow, right? You're pulling your abdomen to your back and continuously releasing it 100 times. Okay, against the spine 100 times. Having this got rid of abdominal diseases, one increases the gastric heat. The Vanhisara Dauti brings success in yoga to aspirants. This should be kept a secret and should never be divulged. Okay, so this is one of the techniques. First air, next water. Then you are doing movement of your abdomen towards your spine constantly. So this is Vanhisara. The last one is Bahishkrita. Bahishkrita is having formed the Kaki Mudra. Same thing. You are putting your mouth in the front. One should fill the stomach with air and retain it for 1.5 hours. You're taking in the air, you're retaining the air for 1.5 hours, and after that you are moving it through the lower passage. So it's controlling the element of air inside your body. Pulling in the air, keeping it inside your body for around 1.5 hours, and then letting it go through your lower passage. So that's the element of control you are going to get on this air element when you pull in into your body. Okay. Again, these techniques, few things may sound ridiculous as you are saying, right? Will we do or? But one thing we have to look at is people would not have just written it out of fantasy on a scripture, right? And it's not just in one scripture. There are many scriptures in which it has been written. And one more thing is, all these techniques will be maintained as a secret. So you go and ask a yogi who is practicing, he will never reveal that what he is doing, because it has to be kept a secret if he wants to get a siddhi. Right? So people are doing it, and it has been done previously. And again, don't go tomorrow and start drinking water. This has to be performed under the guidance of a guru. You saw the first conversation, right? He went to a guru and unconditionally surrendered, and then the whole thing began. Right? So be careful when you get inspired by the scriptures. First find a guru who is capable of teaching, these techniques, and then going and performing. Okay. So this is the Bhaishkrita. Typically, that is for the first time you are retaining for 1.5 hours and living it. So if you look at Shloka 24, if you are not able to do this, then you will not be able to do Bhaishkrita. So what is this Bhaishkrita? Standing in navel deep water. So you are getting into the water navel deep. Okay. One should push out the Shakti Nadi rectum and wash it with hands till the filth is being removed. So you are moving your rectum out into the water and cleaning it, and then pulling it back. Okay, so that is a technique of Bhaishkrita. So what does it do? Having washed the nadi clean, one should draw it again into the abdomen, and this method of cleaning should be kept a secret. It is not easily available even to the gods. So you are getting into the water navel deep, pulling out your rectum into the water, cleaning it, and then pulling it back inside. So that's the level of control you are going to build on your body. Okay, so this is Bhaishkrita. So let's see the some of these techniques. I'll start with Vatasara.
In any comfortable meditation asana, place both the hands on the knees in Chin Mudra. Close your eyes, straighten your back, neck and head in one line. Relax your whole body. Open your mouth and purse your lips like a crow's beak. Draw the air very gently through the mouth into the stomach in a series of gulps. Fill the stomach as far as is possible. Hold the air inside the stomach and intestines for some time. Do not try to expel the air. After some time, it will release automatically through the anus. This is one round. Repeat 3 rounds. Start again. Fill the stomach as far as possible. Hold this air inside the stomach and intestines for some time. Do not try to expel the air. After some time, it will release automatically through the anus. After completing the round, return to the prior position and take rest until the respiration returns to normal.
Okay.
Will we she's not expelling from the nose or she's blocked? Breathe Mantala.
No, she's breathing normally. She's taking in, she's taking in the air, and then she's collecting it inside her, abdomen, stomach, and then she's just sitting quiet. She's not burping. She's just taking in the air inside, and just keeping it. And after some time, it will automatically go out. So this is the Vatasara. Then Vanhisara we will see. Okay. This is the water one.
Drink 2 glasses of warm water, lukewarm water, quickly, without time gap. Perform after taking these 2 glasses of lukewarm water, 5 asanas will be performed 5 times
Sorry. Yeah.
each in sequence. These are number 1 Tadasana. See how the body steps upward, raising both the hands above the head, and after that, Triyanka Tadasana, twisting the bodies while exhaling, left side and right side, repeatedly 5 times. Now, Kati Chakrasana.
So once you fill the water, you are doing multiple asanas.
5
It
times
comes
from
out.
left side, 5 times from right side. When you twist your trunk to the right side or left side, exhale. While coming back, inhale. Triyanka Bhujangasana. Five times from the right side, 5 times from the left side. After completing Triyanka Bhujangasana, the fifth asana is practiced, known as Udar Akarshan Asana. Ascending and descending colons are pressed with the thighs repeatedly by twisting the trunk to the left side and right side. Drink 2 more glasses of lukewarm water and after drinking of water, the same set of 5 asanas is repeated 5 times each.
So got an idea, right?
After repeating these 5 asanas, a practitioner should go to the toilet whether the earth is felt or not.
Okay. So you're drinking water, then doing some asanas to ease the water flow, and then you are releasing it out of your body. This is also called Shanka Prastalana. If you take the other yoga techniques, they call it as Shanka Prastalana. Okay. The next one is Vanhisara. Okay, let's see how it is.
Stand erect, keeping the feet shoulder width apart. Lean forward and place the palm just above the knees.
The abdomen one.
Open your eyes and look towards the abdomen. Inhale deep and long breath. Exhale as much as possible. Now contract and expand the abdominal muscles as long as possible, holding the breath outside comfortably.
Can you see?
Do not strain in and
Holding the breath.
Return to the normal position and take rest until the respiration returns to normal. This is 1 round. Repeat 3 rounds. Again start having the same position.
So it is 100 times in the shloka.
Contract and expand your abdominal muscles while holding the breath outside. Return to the normal position and take rest until the respiration returns to normal.
Okay. So these are the Dhauti techniques that we, Antardhauti techniques that we did. So next one is Danda Dhauti. So what we will see what is this, Danta Dhauti. So we'll see what is this Danta Dhauti. So Danta means teeth, right? But this technique, even though it's named as Danta Dhauti, it has 4 techniques under it, but all of them are not related to the teeth. Okay. So first shloka, which is Danta Dhauti, says cleansing of cleaning of 5, the root of the teeth, okay, the root of the tongue, opening of the 2 ears, okay, and frontal sinus. It's called Danta Dhauti. So it's not only teeth, but it's also the root of the tongue, it's also opening of the 2 ears, and also the frontal sinus. This is Danta Dhauti. Now let's see what is the first technique of cleaning the tooth. One should rub the root of the teeth with extract of Khadira plant. Okay, I don't know what this plant is, but Khadira plant, or clean it with clean earth. You can take the mud, clean earth, until impurity is removed. Okay, this is cleaning your teeth. He says the cleaning of the teeth is great dhauti for yogis in their practice of yoga. Every morning, one who knows yoga should do this to preserve his teeth. The cleaning of the teeth is considered by yogins to be one among the process of purification. Okay, it's one of the processes of purification. This is about cleaning your danta. Then jihva. Jihva is your tongue, cleaning your tongue. So now I'll explain the process of cleaning the tongue. An elongated tongue destroys old age, health and disease, etc. So your tongue needs to be longer. If you elongate your tongue, you have many benefits. And you also can do Kechari Mudra. So that will come in. So putting the index finger and the middle finger and the ring finger together into the throat, 3 fingers into the throat, one should rub the impurities and clean the root of the tongue slowly. Okay, so typically you are removing all the phlegm that is arising. When you do this, a lot of phlegm comes out, right? So you are cleaning the phlegm. And holding the tip of the tongue with iron pincers, one should draw it out slowly and rub it with butter and then press it back again. So typically pulling your tongue out, elongating it, massaging it or elongating it by putting a little bit of butter and then releasing it back. So this is the technique. It's like milking a cow. So it says as one does milking of the cow. One should regularly practice this diligently at sunrise and sunset. So 2 times a day. When this is done regularly, the tongue becomes elongated. So if somebody wants to have a elongated tongue, so this is the technique for it. Okay. This is Jihva Mula. So Danta, we did Danta and Jihva. Next is Karnarandra. Karnarandra, you should rub your auditory canal, inserting the tip of the index finger into it. By constant practice, an auditory sensation is experienced. So you continuously put and you keep rubbing your ears. So this is your Karna. And the last one is Kapala. Kapala Randha, the frontal lobe or the sinus lobe or whatever, the frontal lobe. So every day after waking from the sleep, after meals and at the end of the day, one should rub the hindmost part of the roof of the mouth. So we'll see in the video, there is one video for it. By reaching the thumb to the right hand there, thus by the constant practice, one should ward off diseases due to phlegm, the nadi becomes purified and vision becomes clear. So typically you push your thumb and there is this cavity, right? There is your palate or I don't know what they say behind. You rub it like this up and down. So that's the process. Kapala Randra. Okay. Let us see all this Danta Mula Dhauti.
Stand near the wash basin.
Cleaning the teeth.
In the morning, take 1 to 2 grams of tooth powder on the left
Yes.
palm.
So you're replacing that powder with root tooth powder, that's all.
Mix 4 to 5 drops of mustard oil in this powder.
Mustard oil is mixing.
Now turn it into paste with the index finger and rub it on the either side of teeth and gums properly. Ten times minimum, maximum 20 times on each side of gums should be rubbed with index finger. Take 2 to 3 minutes to complete this process. After completing this process, stay 30 to 60 seconds. And after that, rinse your mouth with fresh water.
Okay. So this is the process.
Wash
That's all. This is cleaning your. Then we'll see the jihva mula, your tongue, cleaning your tongue.
near the wash basin in bathroom. Join index, middle and ring fingers of the right hand. Place them on the tongue root of the throat. Lean forward from the waist slightly. Rub the tongue continuously for 10 to 15 times. Now expel the mucus out of your mouth.
Actually, you can
Rinse
replace
your
this
mouth
with
with fresh
your
water.
tongue cleaner also, if you want.
And after that, wash your hand properly. Nowadays, for this purpose, tongue stick is also used.
Continuous.
This practice activates the salivary glands. It cleanses the tongue and root of the tongue. It cures the tastelessness. It keeps the mouth and tongue clean and fresh. Slap.
Okay. Next is Karnarandra Dhoti.
Stand erect on the floor. Place the tip of the index finger on the tip of the ring finger of both the hands. Now clean your ear holes from inside out by rotating the index and ring finger slowly in circular motion. Rotate these fingers for 10 to 15 times, clockwise and anti-clockwise. After completing the rounds, return to the prior position. This technique helps to activate the hearing capacity. It helps to ears healthy and clean.
The last one is Kapalarandra Dhoti. So we'll see this.
Sri Rajiv Mishra. Stand erect before starting Kapala Randra Dhoti. Keep all the fingers of your both the hands slightly apart. Bend slightly and stretch your fingers, making them hard. Rub the mid-top of your skull with your thumb and fingers of both the hands for 2 to 3 minutes.
So there are two techniques. One is this. The other one is putting your hand inside and then rubbing it on your belly. This is one of the techniques.
After rubbing of mid top of your skull, return to the prior position and take rest.
Okay. So there are many variations of the techniques, but this is one of the techniques.
Like near the vast basin. Today, stand erect on the.
Let's go to the next slide.
Sir, excuse me. It's on the actually the karna.
He's using two fingers, madam. You can use a single index
Is
finger.
on left on sorry, index on the ring or otherwise opposite.
This too, madam. He's talking about index and ring. The middle finger, you have to just leave it like this. Like this.
On this.
Like this, yeah. Like this, okay.
But it will not get in there, sir.
Or center finger is also okay.
Yeah, you see, he's actually talking about the index finger, madam. You can keep your index in the shloka. If you see, they're talking about just keeping the index finger and doing it. Okay, you can do. See, one thing you have to drive out of this end of the day is that we were already doing all these things, which today people are talking about basic hygiene, right? Look at this. When is this Girenda Samhita written?
I used to see in olden days when I was smaller, elder used to rotate like this.
So this techniques.
So even today for keeping the babies wash, they use that.
Correct, madam. Correct. So these are all old techniques which today we talk about hygiene, right? Brush your teeth, clean your tongue, clean your ears. See, you've gone beyond clean your ears, clean your kapala, randhra. They've gone even beyond that.
So only fruit powder should be applied or we should rub? Because fruit powder should not be used. They are telling me to erode the teeth. That is the reason we stopped.
Sir, there is one more saying that don't use toothpaste and brush because that will erode your teeth and spoil your teeth. So there is another opposite saying to that also. They're saying use tooth powder, which is much better, right? So I mean, end of the day, it is a judicious call that we need to make and see what is that we are using every day and putting it into our mouth. That's all. But thing is, we need to keep our teeth clean, we need to keep our tongue clean, we need to keep our kapala randhra clean, we need to keep our karanas clean. So that's the whole process of purification of the body. The next one is Hriddauti. What is this Hriddauti? I think this three techniques, right? So the first one is threefold Hriddauti by with a stalk by vomiting and with a piece of cloth. One should insert stalk of plantain, turmeric or cane into the gullet, move it up and down and slowly move it. So typically you are inserting, what does it say? You're taking this banana leaf, right? Banana plantain. So you're taking that plantain and inserting it inside your mouth. Okay, and then moving it up and down and removing it back, and putting it inside, moving it up and down, and then you're just slowly drawing it out. So that's the technique. One should throw out by the upper passage, mouth phlegm. Okay, a lot of phlegm will come out, bile and mucus, so that will also come out. By the practice of Dandadauti, one can certainly get rid of diseases of gullet. Typically, you are inserting a danda inside your what is this esophagus and then removing it out. Okay, that's Dandadauti. Then Vamanadauti, this should have done drinking water, but there is one little twist here. So he says after meals one should drink water till it comes to the throat, look upward for a while and then throw out the water. So when you say after eating food, probably after 3-4 hours, once the food is like after it's little digested and moved into your intestine, then you should do this, not immediately after the food. 3 to 4 hours after the food. They're saying fill it with water and then vomit it out. So that will clean everything on your in your stomach. So this is Vamanadauti. You would have done this, right? Yes. Next is Vasodauti. So 4 fingers long, 4 fingers width, and around 19 to 20 cubits long. So you typically take and you start taking in or chewing in the whole cloth and then slowly remove it back. So what help does it do? It cures tumor, fever, enlarged spleen, skin diseases and disorders of phlegm and bile. Day by day it brings more health, strength and growth. So everything has its own health benefits. So this is one of the technique. So here he is talking about 3 techniques. One where you are inserting danda and doing a danda dauti. Then the second one is vamana dauti, drinking water and then throwing it out. And the last one is vastra dauti. You are taking in, or vaso dauti, taking in the cloth and then removing it out. Okay. Everything, cleaning of your what do you say, we now saw, like he talked about cleaning ears, the teeth and the upper part of your body, right? Now he's going below from the throat. So it's like now your entire esophagus and stomach is getting cleaned. Okay, and we also saw techniques where you're taking in the air and then leaving it out, taking in the water, leaving it out. So your entire digestive tract is being cleaned. Okay, so look at how clean we were, right? Okay, I have some videos. You want to see? I will play those videos. First is Danda Dauti. There are variations of it. It's taking a tube and injecting it. Okay, so instead of, he's using a catheter and inserting it inside and removing it out. This is Vamana Dauti. Would have done this.
Sitting Kagasana. In an outside place near an open drain or bathroom, drink at least 5 to 6 glasses of lukewarm water, one after the other without break.
You did Vamana Dauti, right? All of you. Then I'll skip this maybe. Let's go. So the last one is Vastra Dauti.
Sit on the ground
So they're doing Vastra Dauti also, sir.
in a squatting position known as Utkarasana.
We did Vastra.
Place your
Magic only.
containing the cloth on the ground between the feet. Take one end of the wet cloth and fold their corners of the end so that it can be inserted and passed down through the throat easily. Let the other end of the cloth rest in the bowl. Slowly start swallowing the cloth. Beginners may feel difficulty to swallow on the first day. If they feel difficult, drink 1 or 2 sips of warm water. Swallow 1 to 2 feet of cloth on the first day. And increase the length gradually over a period of some days. Continue your practice till the full length of the cloth is swallowed, leaving at least 6 inches of cloth outside.
See how he's eating.
Do not swallow the whole cloth. Stand up for Nuli Kriya. Stand up.
You need to do Navli.
Vama, Dakshina and Madhyama Nuli may be practiced for 2 to 3 minutes. Those who do not know the practice of Nuli, they can practice Agni Sadhya.
Agni Sara, I'm sorry. Continuously.
Keep the cloth inside for 5 minutes. Sit again on the asana. Now pull the clothes out of the mouth very slowly and gently.
You will see
Do
all
not pull quickly because it may damage the delicate walls of esophagus too.
So you can see everything that is stuck in the esophagus, right? First time you do it, all that will get stuck to it and it will come out.
Keep the clothes in the bowl and relax your whole body for some time. Wash your clothes in hot water and keep it at a clean place for reuse.
Okay?
ಸರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಾ
ಹಾಂ
ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ
ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಚಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಬಂದು ಜೊತೆಗೆ.
It will go inside the stomach or only
It will
esophagus?
go, sir. It will go.
No, only esophagus.
It will go through the esophagus and it will go inside. Stomach-ವರೆಗೂ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಸರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಫೀಲ್ ಇಟ್
ಹಾಂ, you can feel it. First time when you are doing, you will feel it is going inside.
ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ನುಂಗಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ಅದು. ಸಿ ದ ಬಿಗ್ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ದ ಫಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ putting in some foreign object inside your body, and second thing is the body will try to push it out so rigorously. First time it has more of mental and both physical endurance you have to go through. It was like we had, sir, I think sir should have photos, videos and all. It was very first time we are also scared to do it.
Sit in Kalasana.
Okay.
Sit on the ground.
Okay. The last one, Mula Shodhana. Okay, we discussed about this. Moving. So the function of apana, which is the action responsible. I think you know about the vayus, right? Okay. Okay. So the function of apana remains disoriented as long as the rectum is not clean. So with all the effort, one should clean the rectum. So the force that is responsible for pushing out stuff out of your body. See, if you look at your body, there are various different kinds of forces, right? Prana, apana, udana, samana and vyana. So five different kinds of energies, and each operate at different areas in your body. Right? For example, let's say you want to spit out. So your energy is moving upward and you're spitting out from the mouth, right? But when you're excreting, your energy is downward. So that is another vayu. So that is the apana, which is responsible for excretion. Anything that you're excreting out of your body below your abdomen is the apana vayu. Okay. So if your apana vayu is strong, right, is good, then your excretions will be very smooth without any problems below your waist. So he says one should diligently clean the rectum with the stem of turmeric plant or the middle finger and water again and again. So typically when you are cleaning your anus, you are just cleaning it from outside. He says you have to clean your rectum also, which is like cleaning it from inside. He says take a turmeric plant stem, put it inside and keep cleaning it again and again with water. Okay, or you can use your middle finger also, is what he says. The Mula Shodhana cures constipation and indigestion. Okay, gives radiant complexion. So you want radiant complexion, rather than applying creams, you can go for doing this technique. And nourishment to the body and stimulates the digestive organs. It also stimulates digestive organs. Okay, so this is Mula Shodhana. So these are all the techniques on Dauti. Now we come to Basti. So what is this Basti? We'll see. So first one is called, there are two kinds of Bastis. One is Jala Basti and the other is Sushka Basti. Okay. Jala Basti is practiced in water, while Sushka Basti is always done on land. So we'll see what are these two techniques. So assuming the posture of Utkatasana. So if you don't know what Utkatasana is, this is Utkatasana posture. You are staying again navel deep inside the water. Okay, you are drawing the water inside from below. Okay, from your anus. You are pulling the water from the anus, or you can put a tube and you can fill the water also. So you are pulling the water into the anus and then you are ejecting it out. Okay, so one can by doing this, one can get rid of urinary diseases of the bowel and other places. So whenever practicing Jalabhasti, keep his body under control and look very handsome. So these are the advantages of doing Jalabhasti. I have a video, I'll show you one guy doing Jalabhasti. Okay. So typically standing navel deep in water in Utkadasana, pulling water inside and then letting it out through your anus. So that's the technique. Then next one is Sushka Basti. So in Sushka Basti, what you do is raising the lower part of the back in the supine posture. One should dilate and contract the anus. Okay, and you should be in Ashwini Mudra by using Ashwini Mudra. When we come to mudras, we'll discuss about it. But there you are navel deep inside the water and you are pulling the water and releasing it out. Here you are not using water. Probably you can think of Parvatasana also you can take, and then you are typically moving your anus in and out. So this is the Sushka Basti. As a result of this practice, there will be no constipation. The practice stimulates gastric heat and cures indigestion. So this is the advantages you have. So let's see Jalabhasti. He's sitting, but you can do the Kadasana and you can do this. So if you have questions, is it doable? It is doable because somebody has already done it.
But I heard in Ujire they are doing this.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ ಅಂದರೆ ಇವರೇ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೈಪಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ
ಸರ್ ಅದೇ ಎನಿಮಾ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
That is different technique, sir, where you can use an edema kit and then you can push the water inside and then it will automatically come out. But this is, see, here you are talking about the strength of Apana Vayu, right? Something which is below, which is in the process of excretion, which goes in the downward direction. But here you have control over it, where you are also able to pull in. Okay, that's the control you are getting. Edema kit ಅದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಅದೇ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅದ್ರ ಪಾಡಿಗೆ ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಪುಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪುಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್. ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್
ಪುಷಿಂಗ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಿ ಎನಿ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್.
ಪುಷ್ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರು ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟಿ ಮೂಲಕ ಅದ್ರ ಪಾಡಿಗೆ ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು
Understood.
So you are putting the effort of pulling it inside. Okay, that's the.
Not that much quantity. It is working.
So Neti, I think you have already done this. So one should insert into the nostril a fine thread 9 inches in length and pull it out through the mouth. This process is called Neti. Practice of Neti facilitates the process of Kechari, removes the disorders of phlegm and gives a sharp vision. Okay, we'll come to Kechari Mudra. What is it when we discuss about it? It's one of the very, what do you say, everybody wants to do Kechari typically. So it's a very divine Mudra. We'll come when we discuss that. Okay, I did not put any videos for Neti because you already know. The next is Nauli, which is also called Lauluki in Gheranda Samhita. So rapidly move the abdomen from side to side. That's all is the only simple sentence they have given. This is Lauluki, destroys all the diseases and increases the heat of the body. So I'll just show you. This is a famous one. You should have seen Ramdev. You had this session, right? Demonstration. Bannamandir. So this is the technique.
इस बार प्रैक्टिस के बाद पूरा गोल घुमा देते थे योग में लॉरी किया था.
Okay. So if you feel that you already know everything about yoga, welcome to learning yoga. This is only at the physical level. I mean, only at the kriya level. Not even gone to asanas, mudras, bandhas, and then dhyana. So, welcome.
How frequently you are
You can do it, sir. Every day you can do it.
ಅದೇ ಒಂದು
ಸುಲಭ ಮಾಡೋ
So look at what all was covered, right? Starting from your face to your digestive system to your abdomen to your even rectum venas they have not left. That also they have taken care of. And now coming to the eyes, Trataka. Whether you have done this. So without winking, one should gaze a minute on an object until tears begin to fall from the eyes. This is called Trataka by the wise. By constant practice of Trataka, the Shambhavi Mudra is very facilitated. So Shambhavi Mudra, when you sit for your meditation, if you are sitting in Shambhavi Mudra, it will ease you to meditation very fast. Okay, and there are many other advantages of Shambhavi Mudra also. We can discuss that when we discuss mudras. But this by doing Trataka, it will facilitate your Shambhavi Mudra. And diseases of the eyes are cured and acute vision is acquired. So if you have eye diseases, not able to, wearing spectacles, not able to focus, keep doing Trataka regularly. It will help you. Okay. The last one is Bhalabhati, also called as Kapalabhati. Okay. 3 techniques of Kapalabhati should be practiced in 3 different ways. By Vatakrama, Vyutakrama, and then Shitakrama. 3 techniques. Okay. So now let's look at the first technique, Vatakrama. So one should draw in air through Ida, the left nostril, okay, and expel it through Pingala, the right nostril. Again, drawing air through the Pingala, one should expel it through the Ida. So typically you are alternating. Okay, when you are taking in left and right and left, so you are alternating. And one should, after rapidly inhaling and exhaling, one should not hold. So you should continuously keep doing it, not holding the air anywhere. Okay. So by practicing this manner, one can ward off disorders of phlegm. So this is the first technique of Vatakrama. Okay. The next technique is using water. Okay. So after drawing water through the 2 nostrils, one should expel it through the mouth. So taking the water through your nostrils and expelling it out through the mouth. Okay. So repeatedly taking in water this way, the Vyutakrama cures diseases of phlegm. So again, same advantage of. This is the second technique where you're taking it through the 2 nostrils and letting it out through your mouth. Third technique, sucking water by the mouth. Okay. So as to produce a hissing sound, one should throw it out through the nostrils. Okay. So you're taking it through the nostrils, putting it out to the mouth in Vyutakrama. This is Shitakrama, where you are taking it through the mouth and then throwing the water through your nostril. Okay, it's like taking water through the mouth, moving it out of the nostril.
So we need not go into the sinus because I tried that, but sometimes it will go here.
100%, sir. When you even do Jala Jyoti also, it will go there.
So what
It will
is
cleanse. You have to do you can do Kapalabhati, sir.
Kapalabhati.
It will remove the water from there. So because of this, so old age does not set in. So you want to remain young all the time, please practice this technique. And one does not suffer from fever, body is water under control and is free from disorders of phlegm. Okay. So here you see Kapalabhati is little different. Right. So frontal lobe, frontal lobe cleansing is little different. Alright. So we are done with one section of Kriyas. Now asanas, there are around 2 parts in asanas also. 1 to 6 shlokas where they introduce what asanas are and then give you the list of asanas. And then 7 to 45, which is 39 shlokas, you go through the details of all the asanas. So there are around 32 asanas as per Vignana Samhita. Okay. So I'll run through asanas quickly because you guys are experts in doing asanas. So
ಇವತ್ತೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು
ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿನದಲ್ಲೂ
ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಪಾಠ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾನು ನಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ
So if you look at in all, right, there are as many asanas as many species of animals. See the beauty of it. Right? Everything you do is considered to be an asana. It's not a specific posture. So there are 84 lakhs of them as mentioned by Lord Shiva. 84 lakh asanas. Okay. Out of them, 84 are regarded as important, and among them, among these 84, 32 are good enough for the world of mortal beings. Okay. So you start from 84 lakh, come to 84, and then say, boss, just to 32, it's enough. Okay. And just a group of these 32 asanas, as mentioned here, bring success in the world of mortal beings. So what are these asanas? So there is a list of 32 that's given. Anyway, we'll go through each of them. First asana, Siddhasana. Okay, so pressing the perineal region with one heel placed against it, resting the other ankle above the penis, placing the chin on the chest, motionless with the indriyas under control, and gaze directed towards the middle of the eyebrows. So one thing you have to notice this is when you are doing these asanas, it's not only about that physical posture, right? He's also doing a mudra here. Okay, when you come to mudra, we'll discuss what this mudra is. So typically you're locking your chin with your, not your chest, your neck. So locking your chin in your neck, and you're also doing Shambhavi mudra, where you are moving both your eyes and pointing it towards the center of the eyebrows. That is the complete Siddhasana definition here in the Vignana Samhita. Okay, so this is Siddhasana. And Shloka number 7 talks about Siddhasana. Very simple, I told you, right? They have not given you long descriptions of what these asanas are, what benefits are, nothing. He just says this is Siddhasana, just do this. Okay. Then next one is Padmasana. So this is a little different variation of Padmasana, if you can see here. Right, you are placing the right foot on the left thigh and likewise left on the right thigh, crossing the hands behind the back to hold the big two toes, placing the chin on the chest again. So again you are placing your chin on the chest. Again one should turn the gaze to the tip of the nose. So you are using it to the tip of the nose. Locking and tip of the nose you are watching. Okay, so this is the definition of Padmasana as per Gherenda. Bhadrasana, I think we would have done the other variation of Bhadrasana, but here Bhadrasana is a little different. So this is not the face, this is your back. Okay, don't mistake it. Yeah, you're putting your legs ulta and then holding your hand. Okay, this is not sitting in the front like this. This face and okay. So carefully placing the ankles in the reverse manner under your scrotum, crossing the hands behind the back, holding the big toes, okay, and adopting the Jalandhara Bandha, which is locking your chin to your neck, chest, okay, like this. So Jalandhara Bandha, one should gaze at the tip of the nose. Okay, so here you should always notice when they are talking about doing asanas, they are also talking about taking specific mudras. Okay, and bandhas. So Jalandhara is a bandha. You are typically locking your energy movement. So we'll probably discuss that more in detail. But when you are doing it, it's typically not just doing a physical posture. It's doing a physical posture and also bringing your concentration to one specific point where you are calming your mind, which is through and also locking your energy movement in your body. Okay, so if you look at Hatha Yoga Pradipika, there he talks about always doing two locks. One, your Mooladhara, you lock your Mooladhara. The other one, you lock your Sahasrara, and all your energy retains inside your body. So here also when you do this in Gherenda Samhita, look at all the asanas, they have always talked about locking energy or locking through mudras and bandhas. Okay, this is Bhadrasana. Muktasana sounds to be simple, but there is one twist. So placing the left ankle below the anus and right one above it, one should keep the head, the neck and the spine straight. This posture is called Muktasana, which leads to success. Simply you have to sit, that's all. Okay, that is the most difficult thing.
For Indians this is common, but for Indians this is also an asana.
Asana for them, yeah. You have been sitting in that asana only for quite some time now. Vajrasana, this you already know. Making the lower legs tight, one should place the 2 feet on either side of the anus. This is called Vajrasana, bring success to the yogins. Okay. Next is Swastikasana, placing the soles of the 2 feet between the knees.
Please go to Vajrasana. How to do that, sir? But that leg inside.
ಸರ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ವಜ್ರಾಸನದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಥರ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಒಂದು
ಕಾಲು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ
ಯು ಕೀಪ್ ದೀಸ್ 2 ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪುಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಏನಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ವಜ್ರನಾಡಿ. ಯೂಶಲಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ವಜ್ರನಾಡಿ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಏನಸ್ನ ಕೂರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲ್ ವಜ್ರಾಸನ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಕಾಲು ಅಗಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಫೀಟ್ನ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಅಗಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅಗಲ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ದೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಏನಸ್ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಇಟ್.
ಅದು ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲು ಮಧ್ಯ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಈ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಸರ್ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್. So this is your it's a little variation, right? Because we typically join this foot together and then sit on the Vajranadi. Is there a variation? All right. Swastikasana is like inserting your foot in between your thighs. Okay, and then sitting. This is Swastikasana. Then Simhasana. You would have already done this also. Place the 2 ankles kept up upward crosswise under the scrotum, frontal part of your head and of tibia on the ground, hands on the knees, open the mouth, adopt Jalandhara Bandha. See again, you're doing Bandha, locking. And fix the gaze on the tip of the nose. This is Simhasana, the destroyer of all diseases. Okay. Gomukasana. You might have done this also. 2 feet on the ground by the side of the buttocks, keeping the body steady. The Gomukha resembling you are holding your hands back like this, keeping it straight. Gomukasana. Virasana. So a little bit of variation of Virasana here. So Virasana andre you stand and you do it, right? So this is a variation of a little different variation of placing the foot on the other thigh and the other foot under the other thigh is called Virasana. So this is the definition of Virasana according to Gherenda Samhita. Dhanurasana, this you would have done, stretching the legs on the ground like a stick and catching hold of the toes with the hands. Typically you have to hold the toes here. I did not find the picture holding the toes, but it says hold the toes with the hands and curving the body like a bow. It's called Dhanurasana. Shavasana, the most simplest complicated asana.
Favorite asana.
Yes, you have to lie like a dead body. Removes fatigue and gives relief to the mind. Shavasana. Guptasana. So hide the 2 feet, placing them between the knees and thighs and place the anus on the feet. This is called Guptasana. So putting your legs inside and then just sitting it and placing your hands on this. So you're typically sitting on your foot. Guptasana. Matsyasana, this you would have done. Padmasana and then lie supine surrounded by the head by the elbows. This is called Matsyasana, the destroyer of all the diseases. Matsyendrasana, this also you would have done. Withdrawing the abdomen at ease towards the back, then bending the left leg and placing the foot on the right knee. Place on this knee the right elbow also and placing the chin on the right arm to fix the gaze between the eyebrows. This is called Matsyendrasana. So fixing the gaze between the eyebrows, you are taking Shambhavi Mudra when you are doing this. Okay, this is Matsyendrasana. The next one is Gorakshasana. So Gorakshasana. So this is how it is. Keeping the 2 feet turned upward between the knees and thighs, hiding the ankles with the upturned hands. Okay, and contracting the throat. Again, Jalandhara Bandha, contracting your throat. One should gaze at the tip of the nose. This is Gorakshasana. Brings success to the yogins. Okay. The next one is Paschimottanasana. Simple. Keep your legs straight like a stick, placing your forehead between the 2 front parts below the knees and holding the toes in the hands. Paschimottanasana. Then Utkatasana. Utkatasana is, there are variations to this. One you saw, right, when he was doing the, what is it? We saw one video, right, where he was, he pull the water from the anus and release it. So that is one variation of Utkatasana. This is the second variation, where firmly fix both the big toes on the ground and the ankles being raised up in the air. So typically standing only on your toes, right? And then placing the anus on the ankles. This is called Utkatasana. Utkata. Okay. The next one is Sankatasana. Okay, so placing the, look at this, placing the part below the left knee on the ground and encircling the left foot with the right leg. Place the hands on the knees. This is called Sankatasana. So both the knees you are keeping hands on your, keeping one hand on each of your knee. Mayurasana, very easy asana. So placing the palms of the two hands on the ground and the navel on the elbows, raise the body like a stick. This is called Mayurapita. And then the esteemed Mayurasana burns up all the overeaten, unwholesome food, simulates gastric hate, digests the deadliest poison, and quickly cures diseases like tumor and fever, and is harmless. Diseases like tumor and fever is harmless for you if you do this. Mayurasana. Okay. The next one is Kukutasana. Assuming the Padmasana posture, inserting the arms between the thighs and the calves and placing the palm on the ground, support the body on the erect elbows, holding it high up. This is Kukutasana. Typically Padmasana with your hands inside and lifting your body up. Very simple. This is Kurmasana. This is also extremely simple asana. Placing the two ankles elevated under the scrotum, keep the spine and the neck and the head straight, locking yourself up like this. Kurmasana. And this is Utthana Kurmasana. Same Kurmasana, but you are just going up. Okay. Assuming the Kukutasana, hold the neck with the arms, okay, and remain straight like a tortoise. This is called Utthana Kurmasana. Okay. Then Mandukasana. Manduka means frog. So adopting the Mandukasana, the soles are placed under the buttocks and the big two toes touching each other and the knees are kept wide apart. So you can see, right, your legs have gone back, your big toes are touching each other, and then you are typically putting your hands between your thighs and then taking support in the front. This is Mandukasana. This Utthana Mandukasana, same in the Mandukasana position. Now your hands was below, now you are taking it up and locking it behind. Hold the head with the elbows. This is Utthana Mandukasana, which resembles an upright frog. Vrikshasana. You see? So here one thing you need to see is, he says placing the right foot on the left side. Okay, there is no alternating position he has given. So he has given right foot on the left thigh, stand like a tree on the ground. So there is no element of positioning of the hands. You can put it on the top or you can hold it in the front. So there is no position of the hands they have given. But leg they have told, right leg you have to put it on the left thigh. Then Garudasana. Okay, there is this little variation of Garudasana people do. Well, they do it like this, standing. So, but in this Gerenda Samhita, they have given Garudasana to be something like this. So, firmly fixing the legs and the thighs on the ground, keeping the body steady with the help of the two knees, place the hands on the knees. This is called Garudasana. This is like Dhyana Virasana. If you know Dhyana Virasana, this is like that. Then Vrishasana. So for assuming the Vrishasana pose, one has to place the anus on the right ankle and upturned left foot touching the ground on the left side. So I did not get a side pose. So it's like you're bending this hand and you're keeping this like this. something like this, and it should go below like this and touch. So this is the posture, Vrishasana. Shalabha, I think you know this, right? So I put these two pictures because these hands here are straight, but according to the scripture, your hand should come next to your chest. So lie prone, pressing the ground with the palms spaced on either side of the chest, and raise the legs together 9 inches high in the air. This is called Shalabhasana. So hands is kept it straight here. So hands should be kept next to the chest like this. Here she has gone up, lifted her neck, but you should not lift your neck, you should keep it. I did not found a single picture, so I put it. This is Shalabha. This is Makarasana. So you do little different variation of Makarasana, right? So you keep your hands and then keep it like this. So here you are holding it like this. So lie prone and the chest touching the ground and the two legs stretched out. Hold the head with two arms. So this is Makarasana. That increases the heat of the body. Okay. This is Ushtrasana. So actually Ushtrasana is done little differently, but in Gheranda Samhita this is the reference to Ushtrasana. So lie prone with the legs turned upturned and crossed. So you are crossing your leg like this and then holding the crossed legs with hands like this. Okay, and look at the mouth, that is also important. Contract forcibly the abdomen. Look at his abdomen. He has pulled up the abdomen, okay, and the mouth, both. So it's contracting both his abdomen and his mouth. So this is Ushtrasana. Bhujangasana, this you already know. Let the lower part of the body from the toes up to the navel touch the ground. So the only thing you'll have to ensure that till your navel, right, region, everything is on the ground. Your body should not just go up when you're pushing your hands up. So it should be like that. And raise the head like a serpent. By practicing this Bhujangasana, Kundalini is aroused, heat of the body increases and all diseases are destroyed. So this is Bhujangasana. This one is last one, Yogasana. So turning the feet upward and placing them on the opposite knees and keeping the hands on the seat with palms turned upward. Draw in air by inhaling and fix the gaze on the tip of the nose. Okay. So this Yogasana assumed by yogins for practice of yoga. So this is Yogasana.
Sir, most of this are all sitting asanas. Like nothing on the sleeping or supine posture, the lap or prune posture was only Salabhasana. Rest of all are sitting.
There was one more Vrikshasana. You are standing and doing. Yeah. And then Garudasana has variations. Again, that is also sitting.
But maximum of it is on.
So is there a reason why there is no complementary for that Vrikshasana?